And now we're joined by the head coach of the Trenton Devils, Rick Kowalsky, after the Devils come up with a win against the Jackals last night. A 5-4 victory, Coach. You've now taken 2 in a row from the team that had lost so far in the first 7 games. You guys get 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good feeling last night in the room. Obviously, last 3 games against this team, and like we talked about yesterday, it's been they've been physical and emotional games that there's been a lot of momentum swings, and last night was no different. But I thought we were solid from start to finish. I thought we again seemed to be getting into penalty trouble, which is kind of uncharacteristic of our team as a whole. But our penalty kill was strong, and sometimes those can really change the momentum for you. So last night's game went back and forth, but to come back from a 2-0 lead, and we didn't give up a lot in the first. They probably controlled the play a little more, but we didn't give up too many quality chances. But we also didn't create much. I didn't think we got in on the forecheck and created too much in the first, and then they come out in the second and score right away. So we rebound back, and Eves gets us going at the end of a power play there on a 2-on-1, and we just kept responding to everything they did, and eventually got the momentum going our way. And I thought from the second half of the second period on, right up till they scored that 4th one, we pretty much controlled the play.
And speaking of the power play, you mentioned Eves getting the one just after the power play expired. Then later you get the 4-on-3 goal. So kind of 2 power play goals, technically just 1. But is the power play any better?
I thought we will continue to tinker with it. I thought our puck recovery was a lot better off of shots from the point. I thought Murray and Leader in particular did a better job of taking the initiative of just getting it to the net. We had a bit better of a net presence yesterday, and I think we're going to set it up where we're going to simplify even more, and get a lane and get it to the net, and everybody just crash. The rebounds were there last night. Again, we had some chances. Tony, right before we scored on the power play, Tony Zancanero, I mean, it was a delayed penalty, but he had a heck of a chance. And as some guys I thought Jeff Pro had a better game last night on the power play than he's had lately, and Brett Wilson also looked pretty comfortable there last night. So again, we'll continue. We'll take the 1, almost 2, however you want to look at it. But as the game wore on, I thought we had some more urgency in our power play game, and we need it because it can be the difference.
And talk about the chemistry that you try to develop, whether it's on the power play or just your regular lines. Zancanero and Eves both they were on the ice for a couple plays. Each got a couple assists. Is that a combination that you see working? What are some of the other guys that you see chemistry developing?
Well, I think for the most part, as a coach with a new group, you look at your most skilled guys, and you start from there. And then if they're not getting it done, you look at your guys that are playing hard and playing the best. And I think Dan Eves, maybe I waited a little long to put him on the power play. He'll play there tonight, but he's consistently been one of our best forwards since day one. He's not an overly skilled guy, but he's strong on the puck in the corners, and you don't have to tell him to go to the net. So you got a good point there. You look at it from a skill standpoint. You figure if you put your most 5 skilled guys on the ice with no coaching at all, they should be able to figure it out. But sometimes they try to do too much. So you got to put some muckers in there maybe that gotta want to go and get the puck and get in on dump pucks or find loose pucks in front of the net when you got a D-man wanting to knock you down. So again, Tony, I thought had a good net presence and was jumping on pucks and had jump last night, which is his game. And then, like I said, Dan Eves will get a chance tonight as a result of the way he's played and the way he played on the power play basically the second half of the game.
And you mentioned tinkering. You of course don't have Trevor Kelly. He's up with the Lowell Devils now. You had Kuhns up as a forward yesterday. Talk about the story there and just trying to move guys around. And we talked about Burnett, Murray, guys coming along that are, having been part of the team. You're still trying to figure things out.
Well, we got a lot of D right now on the back end, and we got a lot of forwards on the IR. Atkinson was sick this week, so he was unable to go. Kuhns has actually played some forward a little bit early on in his college career, and he's a smart player. He's got quick hands, he's got quick feet. He was okay up there. I liked him a little better in Elmira than I did last night. but Aikenson now will be back in the lineup, and we'll bump Coons back on D. I think 3-and-3 nights, I think with Coons' skating ability, getting to pucks and making that first pass, to avoid their hard forecheck may help us out. And then, Aikenson should be fresh up front and give us some life on our forecheck. And then we'll also throw Matt Torty in the mix too, who's been fresh and hasn't played in the last 2 nights. So, to have this many options right now is good, especially in a situation where you're playing a team that this many times in a row, 3-and-3 nights, and it's been a physical series. So hopefully these minor adjustments can give us a little bit of life on the end of a 3-and-3.
And you go back with another switch in goal, Coleman going back and forth with Caruso, and having that day in between for Coleman, even though he's playing 2 games in 3 days, he kind of does get a day off yesterday to some degree. Does that help?
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I mean, this is makes a coach's decision easy. We knew what this was going to be coming into the weekend, and you got a fresh goaltender that sometimes he can just give you life, whether it's with his attitude or his saves. And obviously Coleman, kept us in the game up there in Elmira, and then David made had to make some big saves for us early on yesterday. So both kids are competitors, and it's a healthy competition between the two of them. They're good guys, and to be able to rotate them like this, I think is good for us as a staff. Obviously, it's good for them as a tandem, and obviously, most importantly, it's good for the team.
Yeah, let's talk about Elmira a little bit. They come out, Gallant gets a few penalties to start the game. We pretty much don't hear from him after that altercation. Your sense of how the Jackals have approached this series, it is kind of a series, especially with Gallant and all the penalties, all the problems he was causing early on.
Yeah, again, we knew they were going to do that, and me and Vince kind of laughed when we saw the starting lineup of Chaz Johnson, Pro, and Gallant, and again, you move the puck quick. I mean, Chaz played well yesterday. He had a goal and 2 assists. He was probably their best player, and he gets in on the forecheck, and there's no question what he's going to do. I mean, I think him and Justin Kutu were connected at the hip at times, but our D get back, move the puck, and like I said, their forecheck, I don't want to say caught us off guard, but it's tough to play against when they're coming hard. And but with that said, they took some dumb penalties, we took the same attitude into tonight's game. Even though they're at home, we want to play a physical game, but we're going to stay out of the BS basically. And I thought the ref did. That's probably the best officiated game we've seen yet. He nipped it in the bud, and he pulled a couple guys out of piles in front of the net where there's some nonsense going on, and he, the ref really has the ability to take that out of the game. So, even though they were trying to initiate that stuff, a difference in official from what you saw Friday night with it continuing over and over and over again. I thought Gino did a really good job yesterday at nipping it in the bud, and as a result, we had a good hard hockey game.
And I believe the first time he's officiated a game for Trenton this year, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so he's not officiating tonight, but also credit to your guys and able to keep the discipline in check.
Well, again, we need points, and you don't. Sometimes it's tough. I've played on tough teams, and I've played for a few coaches like Steve Martinson, who's harping on you to hit and play tough and get on them and yap, and sometimes when nobody wants to dance with you, it gets frustrating. And I think we just go out and we played hard, and like I said, once the whistle, we'll play to the whistle and get out of there unless there's something to take care of. And we did that last night, and I think that was a big reason why we ended up with the 2 points.
And perhaps turning the tables, Trenton now taking 2 games in a row. One more against the Jackals tonight. Coach Kowalsky, thanks and good luck.
Thanks.
That does it for Rick Kowalsky. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Trenton Devils Hockey.